All right. Welcome back, everyone. We are going to be inspired today. I have an amazing guest who, actually, I don't believe in coincidence. I have to tell you, I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe in accidents. And the fact that this interview is actually taking place is a true testament to that, because I met this incredible woman, Kisha Simone, Southern Belle. I met her 16 years ago, my dear.
Yes,
Welcome to our show. I'm happy to have
thank
you on.
you. Thank you. I appreciate this. This is amazing to be on your show. This is my first time really, well, second time really telling my story. So I'm honored to be on your show. Thank you. Hello, LA, California, everybody. West
Um,
Coast, East Coast, and the South. Hello.
that's right. Well, you're in Dallas now, but I met you in
Yes,
Cali.
yes,
So,
I was living in Cali when I met you first. Yes, exactly.
yeah. And we met through my husband.
Yes,
You were working together, and I remember
yes,
he was like, "Oh, Keisha's so cool. Like, she's a singer, she's an entertainer. We got to go to her show."
yes. That was amazing. And that's when I was still performing because at the time I was an artist and I used to perform all over SoCal, which is Southern California for those of you that don't live in LA.
Mhm.
And it was just amazing because he's always there and he'd get the crew together, him and Shay. I'm still close with her. Those two were just phenomenal to my growth. And I am so forever grateful.
That support, it means a lot, and you just never know when you travel and you're in different places, who are going to be the people that you stick to, that end up
Yes,
being your lifetime friends, that are
that is
that
so true.
support.
That
So
is so true.
yeah, and so I reconnected with Keisha through LinkedIn, you know and she said,
Yes,
"Okay, I'll let you interview me." And then we got on to talk, and she's like, "I know your face."
yes. And your name is so unique. I was like, I know this is Jason's wife.
So crazy, so crazy. And honestly, Keisha is an incredible entertainer.
Thank
I just
you.
I just remember her passion and her love of people.
Thank
That
you.
that was just that really sung through to me, and I really
Thank
felt it for
you.
her. And now she's working in Dallas. She's been in Dallas. You said you've been there 6 years.
Yes, I've been back since 2015. So yeah, about
Fantastic.
6, 7 years. It'll be well, yeah, March. It'll be 7 years. Time
Nice.
goes by fast.
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does. Well, we lost 2 years, but whatever.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's another story. But now she's on DFWI Radio, Southern
Yes,
Bell Radio. I mean, and she's co-hosting with it's Mario Hall. Yeah, Mario
yes,
Hall.
yes. I'm
And
the
she's
host
got a
and he's
huge
the co-host.
following.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you've been doing this show for 4 years, 3, 4 years.
I've been on air 4 years
Okay,
and it's been phenomenal.
it's you're in your element. You really are in your element, and I
Thank
know that
you.
this is the podcast for entrepreneurs. I always joke about, this is the kind of my fu to everyone who told me not to do it.
Ah,
Because you get naysayers, right? You get people that are like, "Oh no, do something safe," stay.
yes.
And I'm sure you've talked about, people always
Oh,
tell
yeah.
you like, just
I just spoke of that just a second ago. I just finished the rehearsal with the Cali cast for the play that I wrote. And I
mhm.
told them, I said, everybody was wondering, how are you going to do a play with half the cast in Texas and half the cast in Cali? And I was like, well, you got to come to the show and see it because it's going to happen. I'm
That's
a person
amazing.
who I always speak life into something because I lost so many. So I know death is real, but people got to realize living is real too. And not enough people know how to do it.
Oh, you're so right. You're so right. Well, I want to talk about that because
Yes,
you just wrote a play
yes,
called The Worst 32 Days. And
yes,
I mean, I know that this is a tough story, but
yes.
I mean, I truly believe that out of tragedy, you can find some joy. And
Right.
so will share it with us? How did this come about? I mean, you've got this incredible cast and all this experience. Tell us.
Well, the story, and I say unfortunately because I lost three of the closest people in my life, is a true story that I wrote that did not start off as a play. Let me first and foremost say that. The story started off as me telling my story because I was down with COVID and pneumonia. And I wasn't sure if I was going to make it because, of course, you have the doctors and the nurses saying, this, that, or the other. I had pneumonia, which was taking over my body. And I was in my house and I told my oldest son, do not let me die in a hospital. I want to be at home. So with being at home and in a house where you're just secluded from everyone, I got tired of watching TV, got tired of, sleeping. So I decided to write a story. And the worst 32 days was about the worst 32 days of my life. I lost my grandmother November the 10th, my mother December the 11th, and my uncle, my mom's baby brother, December 13th. So it was 32 days that was filled with liquor. And I'm going to be honest with your audience. And yourself. It was filled with liquor and pain because I tried to cover the pain. I was at every funeral drunk. I never stopped getting dressed. I prepared the obituaries. I picked out the clothing for my family, except my uncle, but my mom and my grandmother, I dressed myself. And I know in order to get through that, I had to cope. I wasn't a weed smoker. I didn't know how to stick anything in my arms. And I'm just being very transparent because people need to understand, because you have a smile on your face and you may have on some, Christian Louis Vuittons, or you may have a Gucci on your arm. That doesn't mean that heart is better because you look good. And so out of that story, I just had to really share it because people understand, death is real. This COVID is real. It came through my family and we thought we did something. We're like, whoa, wait a minute. Because my uncle, well, I'm not going to tell the play, but we thought my uncle we could save because he started moving. But it was like when my mom died, him and my mom were so close. And my grandmother, we knew he was a baby boy. It was just like, it was a story that had to have been written.
Wow. Oh my goodness. And then wait, the play is just that experience of everything that happened. And you are cast, so it's Anika McFall, who's you,
Anika, right? The amazing. I have to give her this title because she always messes with me. You don't have to say that all the time, but she's an NAACP award recipient of just being a phenomenal actress that is playing Kisha Simone, and she kills it. She kills it. That's the safest word I could say, and I'm honored for her to be of her caliber to portray me. Wow. And most of it is just the slurring of the words, the just being laying across my bed every day. Those things, she's such a detailed actress. And I was so detailed in those. I mean, people can't believe you survived that. It wasn't an easy survival. Yeah. It wasn't. Because a part of me didn't want to be here. I didn't want to commit suicide. Let me say that.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want to continue to live without the three people that loved me the most. I feel like they love me the most. Those were my protector, my uncle. My mother, we had just started rebuilding because we didn't have the best relationship, but out of any of it, we start rebuilding. And when I lost my grandmother, which died first, me and my mother started becoming close, and then she went in the hospital.
Wow.
And unfortunately didn't come out.
You just don't know how you're going to get through something like that. And I'm grateful that you found a way, that you found a path. I mean, and I know, I know that you must give that glory to God, like finding your way out of what must have felt like mud, just.
It was more like quicksand. Mm-hmm. Mud, you can still lift your feet up and walk through it. It'll be all on the bottom of your shoes and it gets messy, but quicksand, you're fighting to get out of it.
Yeah.
I was fighting to get rid of the hurt. I was fighting to wake up. When some people just think it's something so senseless, oh, you just get up and take a bath. I was fighting to brush my teeth. Mm-hmm. It was a constant battle every day that I had to live without my family.
Wow. It's amazing that you're here with us, but you have a purpose and you have a reason. They say, every adversity carries with it the seed of a benefit.
Yes.
And only if you choose to look for it. And that benefit, you're going to be living, breathing, watching, that message,
Yes. Because on June 12th, everybody will be able to see the story. On June 12th, 2022, when these actors hit that stage, it's going to be a story that is now told. And that's something that I even shared with you on this show, that it wasn't always this easy to talk about it. It wasn't always this easy to say, okay, let me write and tell somebody I went through this, because it was things that's in the play that I read and I even think like, oh my God, I did that. Oh my God. Oh, wow. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just being honest, like, oh, I was out of control, you know? And people think when you're a public figure or when you're someone that's in the industry that we don't go through stuff.
No, I think it's worse when you're in the public and people are watching, you know?
Yes. And we have these on us all the time, you know, good or bad, you know, somebody's gonna see it and somebody's gonna tell it and somebody's gonna talk about it, period.
You know, this is such an incredible story on so many levels, just what you've been able to come through and how you're turning that into a benefit and a blessing and a gift for other people. Because
Thank you.
Honestly, you know, mental health is on everybody's minds right now.
Yes.
The last 2 years, you know, we lost so many people. Being able to hold on and keep going, you know, you have such a passion for getting your message. Like, I always felt the passion in your singing, right? But now, you know, writer, director, producer, radio host. I mean, you exude passion for sharing the message that you have, whatever that might be. And so how do you, you know, I know obviously we're talking about entrepreneurship, but I feel like we have to talk about getting your passion out. How do you do that? I mean, it may be your secret weapon. How do you share with other people maybe how to find their passion and be able to express it?
One thing that is, I think something that people forget about is knowing you and knowing what your real abilities are, because it's okay to get to learn someone else. But when you don't know yourself, you don't know what you can do. You really don't know what you're good at. When you don't take that time out to study yourself, because people think, oh, I know me. Okay, well, what are your PowerPoints? I always ask actors when I work with them, because being an entrepreneur, we carry many hats. Mm-hmm. And even if you're good at one thing, the one thing you have to be good at is being an entrepreneur. And if you ask that to 5 different entrepreneurs, what are you good at? Well, my business is this. No. What are you good at? What's your specialty? What's your quality? What brings you to life? And those are things that when I was down, I had to realize the only direction I'm looking is up. Mm-hmm. So I had to make those quiet moments and those things, and to feel like, okay, well, this is what I'm good at, but I need somebody that's good at this to answer your question. Mm-hmm. Well, this is what I specialty in, but let me find somebody that specializes in this, because this is what I don't know. See, sometimes we get so big in our names and our titles and our characters, we forget we don't know everything. And that's where people learn and draw to you when you're real with them. That's my second part, being real with them, because when you're real with yourself and you're honest with yourself, you know how to be real with someone else. And that's where I gravitate to people, and people trust me, or I can be trusted to anyone, because I'm not going to tell you I could do something I can't. I can't. Just like with the cast, the first thing I talked to them about was pay, because everybody wants something, especially if you're A-lister. I know, but this is what I can give you, and this is what I can't. If you're willing to work with me, I would love to. I can feed you. I'm gonna get your wardrobe. I can do all that, because that's donated, you know. But as far as giving you cash in hand, this is and that's one thing that I learned, to be open and honest. And that's what will take you, even as being an entrepreneur, which is what this segment is about. You have to learn to be that, because to be a good leader, you must be a good follower.
Ooh, yes. You absolutely do. So you have to know your worth. You have to know what you're capable of doing, and then be able to find people that are capable of the things that you don't excel.
You lack. And that's not saying that you're not worthy of your position. That's just saying you're magnifying your positions.
I think being that insightful person that can be introspective enough or self-aware enough, and then be able to say, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm not good at. That can take you to whole new levels. That can take you into areas that you may not even dream of, because you're willing to say, I'm open.
Yeah.
I'm
And I'm
open
willing
to
to learn. You never stop learning. And a lot of times, and I say this to entrepreneurs, don't get in a position to where you're at your max of learning. Even my aunt that has a double master and a bachelor, I taught her something about the cast the other day. You know, you can never get to the point of never knowing. You just never can be too educated. That's what I'm trying
no,
to say.
no.
And there's one thing that I had to learn in the natural realm of things and the spiritual things. God always shows me something new. Even in this manifestation of this play, I'm like, oh my God, this play is a lot. But the one thing my investor said, I'm not worried about no money. So if the person
About the
that's
mission.
bringing the money tells you that,
Well, you know what? It's about the mission. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
see. I don't know your investor, but I could see that wanting to get this message is too important to worry about the dollars and all of
Yes,
that. It's more about this is a story that needs to be told. It needs to be
yes,
public. It needs to be
yes,
something that other people can experience so that they
right,
can learn and grow from it. So I
right.
appreciate that investor, whoever they might be.
Shouts out to Scorpio Entertainment. But it is a blessing to have somebody that invests in something that is so precious because to me, I was just writing my life story and my experiences because I do want people to understand this story goes far. I mean, it's such a big, and I don't want to tell the play, especially for
No,
people that
don't.
are
I
looking
won't.
at
I don't want you to.
but and I'm gonna send you a copy, so don't worry about that. You'll see it. Um, it's just so many different twists and turns in those 32 days that I had to narrow down into 2 hours for the play. That it's something everybody will get out of in different ways. You know, forgiveness, you know, loving, being true, just and that it goes far beyond just Kisha Simone.
Yeah. And also you being a parent,
Yeah.
you having to whether being a parent and being a mom at that time. I told you earlier, you spoke at that single moms conference. It was at the end of 2019,
Yes.
and you. I loved what your experience about LA, and you said something that really resonated with me about the broken branches of your
Yes.
tree. You
Yes.
know, um, and as a parent, you can't stop.
You can't. You
Just
can't.
because you're grieving, you can't stop. You have to just
Yeah.
keep going. So, I mean, what advice would you give to parentpreneurs or people that are trying to get something off the ground, trying to build something, trying to run their business when their trees their branches may be broken?
One thing, well, one of many things I want to say is those are your reasons why, and those are periods. Those are not commas. Those are not semicolons. Those are periods. That's your reason why.
Yeah.
Period. And when you have that reason why, you have no limits of what you're going to do to make it happen, because that reason why doesn't understand we can't get this done, or when I cut the switch on, the lights off, or when I turn the knob, the water doesn't come out. They don't understand that. We have to make that happen. And yes, I've had my crying in the closet and screaming when I get in my car and drop him off at school and trying to figure out how, but when I wipe my face off and when I get and stand up off my knees and stand on these two things we call feet, then that's when that soldier comes out. Because I actually have a son that was in the army when all this took place. My 9-year-old is what saved me. My 9-year-old had McDonald's and Wingstop every day for those 32 days because I would not get up from drinking. But he fed me peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that were so thick. I still taste them on the top of my tongue. Them sandwiches are so thick.
Oh.
But he carried me. And sometimes we feel as parents that the kids, they got to listen to me. But I had to listen to my children. My children, because of course we raised them right. And I say we because it took my grandmother, it took my mom, my uncle Antoine was helpful and things of that nature to mold my son. And he knew my mama's down, so I got to stand up for my mom. My mom always stand up for me, so let me stand up for her. And when you're a parent, sometimes you learn from your kids. Don't be afraid and don't shut them out. They are people, they have hearts, they have emotions, they have this. We provide and we take care of them, but we mold them so they're looking at us. They're image of us, like we're image of God. Those are our seeds. So when you look at your children, you learn from them. But those are your reasons why. And that's your go-getting. That's where that energy comes in. That's where that extra hour, I got to work this extra hour because my baby needs this. My baby needs that. That's where that energy and that drive comes from. When I was singing on those stages, when you first met me, I knew I had to perform there because I got to make sure Darian, I didn't have LJ at the time, but I got to make sure Darian's in Texas and he has all his school supplies. Because I wasn't there in form and body, but I knew my presence was there because I had a responsibility. When you have a child, your responsibility shifts from just you. It's that baby first and then you. And that's what, no matter if you're a business owner or you work at a company or whatever the case may be, those are your reasons why, or they should be.
People sometimes will use their kids as an excuse. Oh,
Exactly.
I can't do this because, or it's too hard because. You're 1,000% right. The using them, the understanding that they are your reason why you keep going, why you get up every day.
Reason why. That's your reason why.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be, if that's for you to add an extra shift, if that's for you to do another job, if that's because we have the gift of what this pandemic has done is allow so many at-home jobs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so those are things that each individual has to realize, what is my next move? Because I got this reason why.
It's amazing. It really is important to hear the message, because we have something to learn. Like you said, we have something to learn every day, right? Our kids can teach us so many things, but we have to get better for them.
Yes, because they watch everything that you do. My son, my 9-year-old right now is ready to go in the studio because he was like, Mom, I want to rap. I want to do this because my oldest son raps. And when my oldest son was younger, he did commercials and he watched me on entertainment. So it's like, I have to be careful of things that I did because I have a son that's watching. Yeah. And boys, their gravitation is different from girls. Girls will watch you, but they'll still know what they want to do and things. But boys, they're watching you with a magnifying glass. And those reasons why, my two, is the reason where this energy comes from, the reason where this extra push comes from, even when I don't want to do it, even when I don't want to get up, even when I don't. But I'm like, my reason why will not understand this. And that's not fair, because when I lay down and decide to have him, my wants were different because his needs. See, for me, it's a want. That's a need for my baby. And he can't go with me being, that's selfish.
No. The needs and the wants, it all changes when you become a parent.
It does.
Everything changes, and you have that responsibility, that drive, on the hardest day, at least for me. I mean, everybody's story is different. Your story is unreal. But on the hardest days, my kids are what drives me.
Yeah.
I'm all about. I'm kind of obsessed with an incredible family and an incredible business life. That's me. And so that's what I strive for every day.
Yes.
But it's beautiful.
And you said the key word, you strive. Everything else behind it is wonderful because you strive. That's why when I say I'm grinding, that's it. Because if you look at the definition of the two words, neither one of them consists of being lazy. Neither one of them consists of a certain time. You could strive for 2 hours, but you could also strive for 24. And I know you've had those days that are endless, but you take that pause to make sure that dinner is cooked, because my brother might be hungry, and my nieces and nephews, or if you have girls, or I'm not sure, I've seen the little girl, so I know I got a niece.
But my gosh,
they don't understand, no matter how busy mom is, that I got to eat. Yeah. And then we might take a pause and get right back to it.
Yeah. They've learned to roll. They learn to roll and adapt. 2 girls, 10 and 7. And
it's 2 girls. Okay. And and that's one thing that they do understand, and they adjust, because just like LJ, he'll come in here, he'll stand here, and I speak sign language when I'm doing interviews or anything, or rehearsals, and he's adjusted. But he knows that reason why. When he needs me, okay, you guys, I'm gonna have to reschedule this and go from there. Yeah, because your adjustments are definitely something that's needed, that doesn't take you off focus, that just makes a pause. That's all.
Oh yes.
And get right back to it.
yeah, just get back on that grind, take care of what you guys take care of and get back on it. So
Yes.
that's so good. I hope that whoever's watching this now, you go rewind that and look at
Yes,
how do I be a better parent while I'm trying to get my grind, get to my next
exactly.
level. And you know
Exactly.
what? It's got to be really important also the people that you have around you, that
Yeah.
support, that circle. Has
Oh,
that
that's
changed
everything.
over the years? I mean, how has that helped you?
Oh, yes. It's the circle is smaller. One thing that you cannot ever take anyone somewhere that they don't want to go or they don't know how.
Yeah.
One thing I do know in this thing called life, and I say that a lot. I got that from Columbus Short. I read his book all the time, short stories. And in this thing called life, you're going to run into people that's meant to be there. And I know it's a cliche saying, some people are there for a season, a reason, and a lifetime. But you have to understand and respect the difference. If they're there for a short period of time, don't try to make them a lifetime. And my circle has definitely gotten shorter or smaller, excuse me, because I pick and chose me. At one time, I wanted everybody to be my friend, everybody to be happy, everybody to love me. Come on, I got you. I'll take you. No, at this point, I'm choosing me. If you want to go, you got to make sure you can stand on your own 2 feet when we go, because you can't stand on mine. Mine are heavy enough. I have wide feet. I don't need anybody else stepping on my toes, and I can't carry anybody. And when you choose you and you're really successful about what you do, you're going to grow and it's going to get smaller. Like I always say in my motivating words, when you're successful, you will know because you're by yourself. Because like a pyramid, the more a pyramid gets higher, what's at the top?
Just the one, right? The point. That's so
And just
true.
like if you think about birds, they fly in packs. How many fly with an eagle? When you see an eagle, how many do you see?
That's it.
So that's where my growth, and that's how I knew things were changing, because people start changing attitudes. I started seeing, oh, you think you this or you think you that. I said, no, you think it because that's what you said, but I appreciate you. And even now it's like the territories are changing, and I just tell God all the time, you have your way. I'm not for everybody. Everybody's not for me, and it's okay. That's just like a bus. A bus makes stops. It'll be full on the north side, but by the time it gets to the south side, it's only a few people on there because everybody had a stop.
Yeah.
And people got to understand, open those doors. If it's their time to get off your bus, let them go.
Yes.
Let them go.
I heard the reason, season, or a lifetime so many years ago. I don't even remember, but somebody told me once, you're not able to connect those dots forward. You can only connect those dots backwards. So when you're looking at, how come I don't talk to so-and-so anymore? There's a reason. How come they got off the bus, right?
Yeah, it was their stop. And sometimes we have to close. Sometimes we want to close the doors, because I'm guilty of that. I don't want to lose anybody. Everybody I love, I want them to go. I'm now successful, so let me take you there. But it wasn't their season. And how you know it's not their season? Because you're fighting for a relationship. Relationships are effortless.
Yes.
You didn't have to, well, let me call this person, because if I don't call them, they're going to be mad. Or let me invite this person, because if I invite this person and this one, it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't feel like that. Relationships are give and take. And if you can't call them, then okay, well, just call me when you can. My circle is so small right now, but it's like we read each other's minds. Well, Keisha got this, or, Kalisha got that, or Babika got that, or Shani got that. We understand each other without even saying words.
Yeah.
And that's how you know who's supposed to be in your life will be in your life without being made to be in your life.
Ooh, that's so good. That is so good. It's so important. It's so important to surround yourself with the right people that get you. I did a post the other day about my husband, and I was laughing because I was putting in, oh, he's this. And I was like, I'm trying to make this not about me, because I was thinking about how much I appreciate him for how he gets me and all my crazy and all my ambitious and all my obsession, all those things that I want to be able to do. He gets me. He's like, I'm on the ride with you, babe. Like, I'm here. I'll be here when you're done doing your thing. I'll be here playing video games or whatever. But and he's always been that way.
It's supposed to be. It's effortless. You don't have to force nobody to be with you when they want to be with you. You don't have to force nobody to listen to your show when they want to support you. You don't have to force nobody to buy a shirt because they're going to buy it as soon as you post it. Matter of fact, they're going to buy it when you tell them about it. Well, let me put my order in, because that's how we do each other. Me and all of my friends, we all have t-shirt lines. But when we go, oh, you got that new shirt? Oh, girl, here's my money. We cash out each other. They're like, you don't have to do that right now, Kisha Simone. Just wait. I haven't even made the shirt yet. You know what I'm saying?
I saw you do that post. You did a live where you were talking about like, hey, look, I'm sorry, everybody. The VIP tickets all sold out for my play in June. You know, yes. I know I didn't think everybody was going to get I was laughing so hard. I thought that was so cool.
It surprised me because it's only February, and I was like, oh my God, my exclusive section is out, because we have tickets for the radio show and things of that nature. And I was like, I can't sell those because that's my media, you know? And it's just like, I think I underestimated myself, and I thank God for it. I'd rather have them sold out and them just sitting there, because they're $100 seats, and I only had 2 rows. Thinking, well, not too many people probably gonna spend this kind of money. So, but those are the first ones gone, and I was like, oh my God, because that's the only section that could do the meet and greet after the show,
right?
And so
I saw that too. I saw that too. I saw the meet and greet. I was like, oh, I want to go. I had FOMO just watching it.
Yes, that building is beautiful, and that's not even the stage. Like, the next time I go, I'm going to go in the stage, and I want people to get excited about it, because it's something that took years to make. This is my 7th production, and it feels like my first, because I'm finally really producing something that is really taking place. Like, I've had shows that nobody showed up. I had shows that, you know, was a disaster, you know, needless to say. And then COVID took place, so my next one was canceled. Then I had one where the theater underestimated me, so they shut it down. You know, being an entrepreneur, you got to go through things, and you got to learn to have thick skin, because everything is not going to go the way you plan it. That's why it's good to have those short-term goals and those long-term goals, because your short-term goals may not turn out. You might have to go to the next one, but don't get stuck and don't stop. See, that's what we get. We give up. It's easy to give up. It's hard to stay on that track, but it's going to be worth it when you get to that final destination.
So good. Because, you know, a lot of times people think, oh, she wrote this play about, you know, what happened to her. She's an overnight success. There's no such thing as an overnight success.
At all. I wouldn't even want an overnight success, because that night you successful, that next night is going to be devastating.
Yeah. Winning's knocking on your door that night. Like, it's not going to happen today.
No, at all. And so I had to go through struggles. Because, you know, out there, even when I met Jason, I was working at a company with him, and I was doing entertainment on the side, but my entertainment was my first thing. And then when I left that company, I did it full-fledged. It was good for a moment, but I've lived in my car. Because LA, it was a beast mode, and my family was like, stop doing entertainment. But when it's in your heart, and when you know that's what you're supposed to do, you sacrifice. Yeah. And I sacrificed everything. And do I regret it? No. Would I do it again? Probably not. But it took place, and it happened, and it made me who I am, and it blessed me to be in the shoes that I'm in.
Yeah. It gave you the experience.
And everybody's not willing to do that. When you're an entrepreneur, you got to sacrifice. You know, you might have to step away from that 6-figure job to get millions down the line.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't want to do that.
No, a lot of people don't want to do that. They're scared of the life that they built, that's secure. You know, you have to be okay with, you know, some financial pressure.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be able to still perform under some financial pressure. Yes. But you also got to be okay with some no's. You know, I got over the hill. Something's happening. It's going to be great. And then no, not.
And then you also, and I don't mean to interrupt, I apologize, but you also got to know you're going to fail at times. And that doesn't mean you're a failure. That just means it may not be successful right now, but the success, will come. And don't do it for money. The money will come. If this is your passion and your dream to do these things, do them with the knowledge of knowing I might not get paid right now, but I will soon. But I'm going to do this just like I am getting paid.
So good. So good. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy that you are sharing your wisdom and your knowledge and your experience with us, because
Thank
it
you.
is the day to day can be, the day to day grind, all of that can be really hard, but
Yes.
you have to know that you're going for something bigger, your
Yes.
whys, your family, your ambition, the things that you want to
Right.
be able to create, and it's so important. That's why I do this, because I want people to know what people see, the overnight success or the I'm an entrepreneur and now I have a jet. That's not how it works.
It is not. That's why those quick, what do you call them? It's not quick success, but those stories where you just see the jets and the Bentleys and the
Oh,
house
yeah.
and this. I tell them all the time, okay, well, where's the struggles? Where's the I lost the apartment and then you got the house? Where's the I didn't have a car for 2 years and then I got the Bentley? And where's those stories? Because those are the stories I want to see.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the overnight success because it's not real. You know? And I tell people all the time, you could read a book cover all night long, but you will never know the real story until you open it and see the chapters.
Mm-hmm. Until you actually go through it. Ooh, so good. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for this play to come June 12th,
Yes.
2022.
Yes.
So it's in Arlington, Texas.
Yes, it's at the Arlington Music Hall. Yes.
Incredible cast. I'm so excited. Yes. Please, follow Kisha Simone. Find her on Facebook on it's DFW, right?
Yes, Dallas Fort Worth
Radio. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Dallas Fort Worth Radio, right?
I know it's new to you because it's down here in Dallas, but it's Dallas Fort Worth or DFWIRadio.com, excuse me, because it is internet radio.
Okay. So DFWIRadio.com. And then you also do the motivating word on Mondays, right? You also do. Yes. That's a live on Facebook.
Uh-huh. It's on Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, and I also have it on Periscope until Periscope shuts down. So yes, every Monday at 7 p.m., which is between 7 and 8, which is 5 and 6 Cali time. So yes, I'll be on tomorrow.
I love it. And I'm gonna do something just really quick. I know we ran a little long today. It's just so good.
Thank you.
This is a kind of a cute little thing I like to do just to kind of keep it light, and it's good conversation piece. So this or that. Okay. Peanut butter or chocolate?
Peanut butter.
Okay. Spring or summer?
Summer.
Oh yes. Okay. Gally, for sure. Rest or stay up all night?
Oh, you got me with that. I would love rest, but probably stay up all night because that's when I'm most creative.
Okay.
So stay up all night.
That's good. Okay. Cooking or being cooked for?
Oh, being cooked for.
Thank you.
I don't cook a lot.
I'm completely with you on that one. Success or happiness?
Oh, to a kernel mind, success, but happiness is going to come and you will be successful.
Yeah. I saw that one and I thought, I want both.
Yeah. And you can have both because when you're happy, you're successful.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? That's one of the biggest reasons why I know that you will be very successful and happy, because when I see you speak and when I hear you speak and the messages that you put out, you give and embody the message of a fulfilling life, taking care of your family, being a good person, doing the right things, Nobody's perfect, but we strive, right? We strive to be able to have the success, go after the grind, but also have the life that God intended for us,
That's true.
So
abundantly. That's right.
I know that you will be massively successful and happy. And I'm thrilled that we reconnected.
Yes, definitely. And this time it will not be 14 years before I see you guys again.
No. I mean, I'm taking a trip. I got to go to Louisiana. I got to go to North Carolina. I just love Texas.
You might as well make it June 12th. Come on, see the play. I got your ticket, but don't tell nobody.
Love it. I would love it. That would be so fun.
Yes.
And when is the show on DFWI Radio, Southern
That's
Bell
every
Productions?
Saturday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's 12 noon in California, but it's every Saturday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time on DFWIRadio.com, which is called Southern Bell Radio is the name of my show.
Perfect. Okay, so
Thank you.
find Kisha Simone and Mario Hall on DFWI Radio every
That's right.
Saturday at 2
Yes.
p.m. Central, 12 Pacific. Man, this was phenomenal. I'm so
Thank
grateful for the
you.
time that we spent together. You
Yes.
have the biggest heart, and I want you to just have so much success and just
Thank you.
give the blessings that you've been given to more and more people.
I will. That is my word. That's my journey. And that's what my grandmother instilled in me. When you get so much more when you give.
Absolutely. So, find us next time. But I'm telling you right now, Kisha Simone, Southern Belle, just watch for her because she is going to do huge things. Be inspired, everybody. Take care. Thank you, Kisha.
You're welcome. Good night.